Well, 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 well. The witch of Washington, D.C. is still running her big mouth. Welcome to the Rob Report. Yep, boy. Mouth almighty, tongue everlasting. You know who I'm talking about. Miss Bitter. She need to get some kind of psychiatrist. She need to seek some psychological help. She is really not well. She is really not well. Now, we already know about a certain kill list. I'm telling you, I don't think anybody on that list agitate her as much as Bernie Sanders agitate her. She cannot keep her mouth closed. She don't want to admit. I don't know what kind of narcissistic person this is to always blame everybody and never look at herself. Never look at herself. The fact that she suck at campaigning, she always did. Always did. When she ran in 2008, she sucked. When she ran for over here in Westchester County, I'm very familiar with that area, to represent Westchester County, she only won because she really had no person to fight against. Everybody stepped down. The only person that probably could have took her on was John F. Kennedy Jr., but we know what happened to him, speaking of kill lists. And here she is. She goes out, Rachel Maddow finally do a great story and talk about all the great hard work that Bernie Sanders did for her. She even goes on the stage, and I showed this in the video, and talk about how great Bernie did and how hard he worked for her. Then she got the nerves to sit here and go on a Howard Stern show. Bernie didn't do enough for me. Who in the world do you think you are that somebody got to do something for you? What have you done for anybody to do something for you? It's the law of seed time and harvest. You put a seed in the ground, you expect to receive a harvest. What seed did you put in the ground for somebody to help you reap a harvest? This ain't got nothing to do with a woman for president. Because I got no problem with Tulsi Gabbard. I got no problem with, I do got a problem with Chief Layalata, Elizabeth Warren. But I got no problem with people like Nina Turner. It don't matter. My big issue with Kamala Harris, she's trying to hide a record, and then she's trying to placate off on people's heritage. Trying to make it seem like she ate us, and she's not. But this woman clearly got a problem. She is sick. She needs an intervention. And then she going around talking about people like a dog and don't think she should be able to, think it's a free country. I can say anything I want about a person. No, it's not. It's called slandering. You can't say that to somebody knowing the power that you still got with some of these numbnuts, these Hillary Clinton culters. Smearing Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi decided to sue her, gave her time to apologize, but no, a narcissist and a white supremacist do not apologize. That's beyond them. Supremacists, and that's why I keep telling y'all talking about Donald Trump is a white supremacist, and he is, because he won't apologize for nothing. And he always think he's better than everybody. And the moment you feel like you're better than him, he's gonna come after you to prove that you're not better than him. He just that's how it is when it comes to white supremacy. They don't want a black man to look him eyeball to eyeball. Back in the day you did that, you died. Or you trying to come after the black man will take you out. All because I'm looking at you eyeball to eyeball. That's the sign of we're on the same level, eyeball to eyeball. This woman, she needs to be, number one, she needs to be in jail. People always talking about Trump going after his opponent for political opponent. It got nothing to do with Joe Biden being a political opponent. It has something to do with Joe Biden abusing his power while he was vice president, and we got video evidence of it. And then you got the same thing with Hillary Clinton with Donald Brazil saying on record, and it's proven through the documentation, that Hillary Clinton took money from the down ballot, people who needed to run in office so they can take the House and Congress. That's why we lost the House and Congress. Congress, she took all their money and put it in her campaign. But they're not talking about that on the news. And that's why I hate the news. And that's why people come to YouTube to get their news. Because they're trying to cover up. They talking about the Republicans trying to cover up for Trump because they don't want to hear the witnesses. Hey, probably so. But the bottom line is y'all had y'all witnesses on live TV. You don't think these people didn't hear those witnesses? You got to bring them all the way to the Congress? We heard it before. I've heard your witnesses. What new news they going to tell us? But yet she Debbie Wasserman Schultz, known cheater. And then the lady who runs the voting down there in Florida, known cheater. People not getting locked up. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she still got a political career. Hillary Clinton get to go around lying and running her mouth and messing things up. And then you got this anything but Bernie campaign, which has catapulted above the get Trump out. I thought the number one purpose is to remove Trump. But when you got somebody who's polling so well in position to defeat Trump, you're trying to take the dude out again. But let's get into the story because this lady got some nerves. Boy, I wish I was in jail with Jeffrey Epstein. I wish they would have came and got me. I'd rather somebody take me out than me. I gotta live with this woman. That's my Bill Clinton impersonation. Man, I don't see how Bill Clinton deal with it, man. I probably was shit long time ago. She's horrible, man. Horrible. Let's look at the story. She got some freaking nerves that man did at least 2 times, if not 3 times, more campaign stops than she did for Barack Obama. But yet she claimed, I rallied everybody around Obama to vote for Obama. Obama didn't need your rallying. Because those people have no other choice after that fact. It's either Obama or John McCain. And more of your people decided not to vote or decided to vote for John McCain. Yeah, the Pumas. Party Unity, remember that? Party Unity, my butt? That ain't what Puma stand for. Puma, P-U-M-A, is Party Unity, my. Y'all started that. Your people started that. But you going to going around saying Bernie Sanders ain't did enough to bring people around to vote for me. That ain't his freaking job. That's your job. Your job is to offer the people a reason to vote for you. Bernie Sanders did whatever he could do throwing that Unity Commission, trying to change the platform to give you a reason to go to people and say, here, this is what I'm fighting for you. You come out and vote for me. I'm going to work hard to provide this for you. He literally gave you his platform and you were too arrogant, too cocky, too narcissistic to run with the... No, I got my own platform. You're trying to fight everything tooth and toenail, trying to overweight the commission with your people than Bernie people just so you don't get things your way. Bad enough you then pick him for your BP, which Trump admitted he was scared of. Because he's scared Bernie Sanders is better than he is on trade than he is. You too cocky and arrogant to put that man as vice president after he did almost, 80-some city campaigns for you? I don't care if it's 8. If it were up to me, I wouldn't have campaigned for you because I'm not no crook. I don't support crooks. I would have ran independent. I would have told you to kiss my behind. After I found out y'all cheated me, I would have said, kiss my behind, I'm running independent. Trump threatened to do that. That's why they didn't do what they wasn't trying to screw Trump. Because he knew Trump would have fractured the Republican Party. Bernie Sanders sat in the power to fracture the Democratic Party. He's still sitting in the power to fracture the Democratic Party. And y'all want to do this stupid stuff? Y'all gonna let this Democratic Party DNC, you gonna let this woman run her mouth like this instead of muzzling her and telling her to shut up? Because she herself, with her mouth, is fracturing the Democratic Party. But then again, most people that support Senator Sanders, half Democrats, majority independents, some Republicans. That is the formula to win. That's why I said if he would have ran in 2016 independent, he would have defeated Hillary Clinton and Trump because their turnout was low. Why? Because those people have no reason to go out to the polls. Trump offered more people something. He was lying through his teeth and his behind, but he at least offered them a platform. Hillary Clinton didn't offer jack. It's just that I'm Hillary Clinton and it's my turn. And now Joe Biden doing this stuff. But let's get into the story. I'm sorry. New York Times. People who got problems on their own. How in the heck you gonna pick Amy Klobuchar over Chief Lyalata? Hillary don't want none. Not Hillary don't want none. Elizabeth don't want her. No, her name is Elizabeth Warren. It's Elizabeth don't want her. Want her. She don't want to do nothing. Hillary Clinton slams Bernie Sanders for not working to unite the Democratic Party in 2016. You got to be kidding me. She's still running her mouth. Still running her mouth. In a podcast interview on Friday, Mrs. Clinton also described the caucuses in Iowa, where Mr. Sanders leads in some poll as undemocratic. Now here's her still being the puppet master in the Democratic Party, because you got to understand, Tom Perez is a byproduct of the Clinton-Obama administration in their efforts to stop true change from happening to the party. They want to keep the party a central party, a Wall Street-leaning, corporate-leaning party. They don't want it to become a FDR people party. No, they want the people to do something for them, but they don't want to represent the people. That's why you got to be real strategic with your voting power, because that's what it is power. Because if you're not representing me, why are you in my freaking face asking me for my vote? You can throw Trump all in my face. My people have a history of dealing with racists and pushing them to do things for them than people who say they by our side ain't going to do a doggone thing for us and have not done for a while. Now, I'm not saying black people and people in general, people of color, I separate black people from people of color. Sorry, I just do that. But people of color, we've known to do that. And here she is talking about Sanders leading in the poll. Sanders came neck and neck with Hillary at the Iowa caucus, and that was his first shot. That was when Sanders was behind, no name recognition and none of that. But the people of Iowa gave Sanders a real boost on that one shot. He almost beat Hillary in that particular caucus. Then they went over to New Hampshire and he beat her. But the way they got the rules rigged in the Democratic Party, she ended up getting the delegates. Ain't that something? I'll whoop your behind. That's like me winning the me winning the Super Bowl, but you get to walk home with my trophy. Is you crazy? You got to be out your mind. She said it's undemocratic. No, what's undemocratic is you working with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and other people in different states to rig the primaries so you can get your chosen, so you can continue to be the chosen one. People talk about, oh, Trump is trying to be king. That fool probably is trying to be king, but Hillary Clinton definitely thought she was going to be crowned queen. Oh, she thought he was going to get this on a silver platter. She mad at Bernie for the simple fact that he challenged her. She thought she was going to get this thing without being challenged. You got to be kidding. No, girl, you're going to be challenged. Hillary Clinton criticized Bernie Sanders' 2026 campaign in an interview on Friday. His campaign and his principal supporters were just very difficult. I'm going to say something at the end of this particular article and I'm done. Hillary Clinton said on Friday in a podcast interview that Senator Bernie Sanders and his supporters did not do enough to unify the Democratic Party after the prolonged 2016 primary, calling the behavior of his supporters distressing, saying it affected the general election. What you fail to realize, Madam Secretary, is most of Bernie Sanders supporters are not in the Democratic Party. So why do you expect them to rally around Democrats when they don't like Democrats? They don't like Republicans. They're independents. They're non-voters. That's why they don't participate in party politics. So why should they rally around party? I'm getting tongue-tied. Why in the world? Madam Secretary, let me calm down. And anybody running in the Democratic Party, some of you watch this. Some of you political leaders watch this. Thank you for your support. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, hit the notification bell, make sure it's on always, and support the channel. PayPal.me/capital Bob, capital BOBTVNYC. Politicians. Anyway, let me stop. But what you fail to realize, Democratic Party, you're always talking about this party unity, party unity, party unity. Don't you understand that man has done more for party unity than anybody in your freaking party? He's gotten people outside the party to come into the party. Now, you can't expect him to be puppet master, Mr. Woo-woo-woo-joo, put the woo-woo-woo-joo on people and make them do something. Nobody has that power. He's not God. God can't make you do something. He give you a free will. That man said after the convention, when everybody was ready to just go independent, pushing them to go independent, he said, I gave my word. I said I was going to support the nominee. And guess what? He said that this year. He said he gave his word. He's going to support the nominee. I don't like that. But that's what he got to do to run in the party, right? But that ain't my word. Let's say I was voting for Bernie Sanders. I haven't picked my choice yet. And I was supporting Sanders. That don't mean I support your freaking party, and that don't mean I support you. And you can throw Trump in my face all I want. I don't like him either. I don't like none of you. So why do you figure out I got to support one of you? I don't do the lesser two evil crowd, because the bottom line is evil is going to be in the office. I don't support evil. I don't support corrupt politicians, and I sure don't support crooks, and I don't support people who steal money from their own fellow Democratic Party leaders like you. What make you think that man's job is to unify the party, even though he did? More of his people voted for you than your people voted for Obama. But yet you get to go around the country saying, I rallied everybody to come support Obama. Let me tell you something. Let's get this straight. Obama didn't need you. A lot of your people said, I'm not voting for Obama. I'm not voting for that black man. A lot of them showed their racism that day. Yeah, people in the Democratic Party showed their racism in that day, especially these high-profile feminists that refused to put a black man. They wanted to put a white woman in office over a black man in office. And I don't care about none of that stuff. But they were hurt, and they were hurt when it came to Bernie Sanders. And they hurt right now because Bernie Sanders in the lead, and Elizabeth Warren tried that mess with her, and she started dropping in the polls. More of Bernie Sanders supporters supported you. So you need to stop lying. You are a liar. Not only did they decide to vote for you, most of them, that man went on the campaign trail with sweaty head beads, sweating like a dog, campaigning for this crook. Because this man, I can't give Bernie Sanders this. This man does have integrity. Integrity is not good or bad. Integrity means you're a person of your word. Well, let me get that word back. I won't say integrity. This man is honest. And sometimes you can be honest and evil. People always assume honesty means good. But in this case, honesty. This man is honest. This man kept his word, campaigned for you more times than you campaigned for Barack Obama. So how you going to sit there in your big blab, nasty mouth saying that I went out and campaigned to rally people to vote for Obama when you didn't do enough for Obama? Just because Obama won, that ain't you. You didn't do that. See, Obama knew the formula, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. You don't get credit for Obama being president twice. You don't. Because most of your female White women decide not to vote for Barack Obama, decided not to vote for the black man with the Muslim name. Side with you with this Muslim guard crap when you put out that picture about Barack Obama as a Muslim and all. You did that, and Trump started capitalizing on that. You did it. And see, it's the sad part. A lot of people, especially my black people, don't really know the history of Hillary Clinton and how much of a dog of a opponent she is, and how she tried her best to slander Barack Obama in any way but lose. You remember that picture of Barack Obama in so-called Muslim guard? She was trying to paint him to be a radical Muslim. That wasn't Russia, and that wasn't the Republicans. That was Hillary Clinton. That was Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And she got the nerves to talk about Bernie Sanders ain't do nothing for her. Again, that man had more people vote for, more of his supporters voted for you than your supporters voted for Barack Obama. And that man went out twice as much, at least twice as much as he did to campaign for people to come to your side, more than you did for Obama. And that man went to places that you yourself was too uppity to go to. He went to farm country. He went to the places where the steel mills and the manufacturing companies got crushed by you and Bill Clinton NAFTA and CAFTA policy. That bill that killed the Midwest. That bill that killed the industrial industry in America and took jobs overseas. He went there to try to get these people to vote for you anyway because, number one, you're too uppity. Number two, you can't even apologize and say that you were wrong for pushing that policy that killed the Midwest. And you wonder how Trump won the Midwest. You just assume the Midwest gonna vote for you after you and your husband stabbed them in the back? They took a chance on a con man TV personality star over a con woman politician. Because it was you and your husband policies that damaged their industry, that damaged their community, not Trump. So they're gonna try to at least take a chance. He might be lying, he might screw us, but I'd rather take my chance with him than her because she known to screw us. She won't even apologize. And I'm quite sure Bernie came to you and said, look, run on this platform. This will get everybody involved because the Midwest people need this. They want this. They dying for this, especially dealing with the trade. Get on this. Nah, I don't want to get on it. You didn't get on it. Trump got on it and he won. I'm quite sure Bernie said, look, come out to the Midwest with me. Stop letting everybody fight your fight. Come out and campaign with me. And make it an apology tour. Tell them you're sorry and show them a new plan, unveil a new plan to fix the problem that you caused in the Midwest. So for you to say that man didn't do nothing for you, you got to be out of your mind. Number 3, sound like Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders is the independent senator from Vermont, but he caucuses with the Democrats. Bernie Sanders gravitate not only to half of the party, independents, and even Republicans. His platform pulls them in because the progressive platform has nothing to do with party. It has to do with progressing people that live in various communities. That is what progressive policies are. Those who are in favor of those policies are called progressives. It's not about a party. It ain't got nothing to do with the Democrat, Republican. It's just a mindset. It's just a belief. A Democratic Party is not a belief. Being a Republican is not a belief. They may believe in conservatism. Democrats believe in liberalism, not libertarianism, but liberalism. But it's not the same. It's a lot of parties ain't got a hint of belief. No platform. Democratic one. What is Joe Biden's platform? At least I know Andrew Yang got one thing that bring people into his interest, and that's the universal basic income. I want to give people $1,000 a month. Martin Luther King pushed that. At least I know Tulsi Gabbard is, we need to stop these regime change wars, man. It's killing our kids. Their kids not going out to war because they rich. Chelsea ain't going to war. Bo Biden, he did go to war. I will say that. But he didn't go in no front lines of battle. They're not going out to war. Meghan McCain ain't going to war. She's sitting on the View. Their kids are not going to war. Ivanka Trump and all them Trumps are not going to war, but they'll send your kids to war. And here it is, Tulsi Gabbard put in a policy to kind of stop this. And she also put in a policy to fix the election, and all these numbnut Democrats and Republicans decide not to sign on for it. But yet they want to do something about protecting our American democracy. We have to protect our democracy. The girl just put a bill in there to help bring us back to paper ballots so we can't have people hacking in the computers, and you turn it down. You don't want to protect democracy, and it definitely ain't going to help Hillary Clinton. He didn't do enough to help me. He only can do so much. Independents don't like you. That's why a lot of them went to Trump. Independents love Bernie. So a lot of independents wanted to vote for Bernie in the New York primary in 2016, but they got shut out. Over 3 million, count them, 3 million independents in New York City, in New York State in general, got booted out because we're not an open primary state. We're a closed primary. The Democratic Party like to control the election process, so they close the primary to Democrat only, and they tell you they'll force you to join the Democratic Party in order to vote for their candidate in the primaries. Force you. So if you want to vote for Bernie Sanders in New York, guess what you got to do? You got to become a Democrat in order to do it. You can't be an independent like me and just vote. Why? Because we closed the primaries. And they do that on purpose. Cuomo got it like that on purpose. And I'm part of the open primaries organization. I'm not up front and high profile in the organization, but I'm for open primaries in New York State. No state should have closed primaries. Open primaries are designed for party leaders to control the election process. Hillary Clinton called Bernie Sanders supporters distressing and saying it affected the general election. Democrats understand this. Bernie Sanders' true weight, true power, true ground game is not in the Democratic Party. It was smart enough for him to run in the Democratic Party versus running as an independent the first time. Second time, I thought he should run independent. But then again, independents don't get to be on the stage to call out other Democrats. But I believe if he ran for independent, he automatically become the man in the general, and he can call out whoever's the primary leader in the Democratic Party and the primary leader in the Republican Party. He would have been able to call out both, let's say, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. But hey, it is what it is. His ground game is pushed by people who are not a party affiliated. But yet you gonna go around saying he didn't get those people to support me. The reason these people are independent is because they don't like Democratic Party leaders and they don't like Republican Party leaders. And who is Bernie Sanders to abracadabra, boomza, boomza, and get them to go support you? It ain't happening. And you being the way you are, calling people deplorables, telling people we're going to get rid of your jobs and not tell them how they're going to replace it. Throwing a glass of water at somebody at a debate. Oh, yeah, I heard all of them. You think this thing should be handed to you. He didn't do enough for, and his people, his supporters are distressing. No, you distressing. And saying, and you got the nerve to say this affected the general election. See, you're just butthurt and you're bitter because the man that your husband asked to run against you, assuming that he was going to lose, he did everything he could to lose. He still ended up being your butt. You lost the easiest election anybody in 10 lifetimes could have, and you were embarrassed, and you were so embarrassed that night here in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center. You already had the glass ceiling, a couple of those pieces of that glass lotted out to break. You didn't get a chance to break it because remember, a woman haven't broken that ceiling yet, but I'm going to be the first woman to break that ceiling. You didn't get a chance to break the ceiling. You were embarrassed. Understand, I would be embarrassed too to lose to a radio talk show. Nah, let me give Trump his credit though. Trump was he's a branding expert. You lost to that guy. You lost to your family friend. You lost to your friend. Yeah, folks, that's right. Trump and the Clintons been friends for over 20 years. You already know Chelsea and Ivanka has been close friends for almost since they moved to Harlem. After the election, after Bill Clinton got out of office, they've been friends since childhood. They go way back. But she's hurt. She's bitter. And she need to get some help. All the way up to the end, a lot of people highly identified with this campaign were urging people to vote third party, urging people not to vote. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, Miss Clinton? You think you politicians, you really think that you're going to continue to go forth for the rest of the next 10, 15, 20 years, expecting people to vote for you and you not giving them a reason to vote? This is my point, Mrs. Clinton. You didn't give people a reason to vote. Bernie Sanders handed to you on a silver platter. What causes people to win? What caused him to win over and over again? What caused these new people to win in 2018 to win? A lot of people ran on that platform and won. He gave you the winning formula and you spit on it. You pooped on it. You stepped on it. And to make matter worse, instead of picking him as vice president, which even got you more of support, you picked Tim Kaine. So don't you be blaming him because the people didn't support you and didn't help you win. Blame yourself. You the fool that didn't pick him for your vice president. Smart thing to do is, man, this guy got half of my support. Smart thing for me to do is to put him on my team as my VP or at least my Secretary of State. No, you go pick Tim freaking Kaine, somebody who ain't had nothing to do with this election. That was dumb. Dumber than dumb. And y'all sit up here and try to make it seem like, oh, she's so intelligent. Oh, she's blah, 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 blah. When it comes to campaigning, she ain't. She's not. She's horrible. Here she is. Well, all the way up to the end, a lot of people highly identified with this campaign were urging people to vote third party. Why shouldn't they? I keep telling you, most of his supporters are not in either party. So, of course, a lot of them probably was in the Green Party. So, of course, you screw Bernie Sanders, you cheat them. They're not going to vote for Trump. They're sure not going to vote for you, especially after you know it's already been revealed that you rigged this election against him. What fool will become a masochist and take this beating and still... Even Tina Turner got tired of Ike Turner beating up on her. People tolerance is not that quick no more. Ain't no way you gonna beat on me and expect me to continue to stay with you. You expect these people who were pushing hard, worked hard, made phone calls, knocked on doors, marched, campaigned and everything for Bernie Sanders. You expect these people, after it's been known that you rigged the election and you cheated him out of the nomination, you expect these people to vote for you. And you expect Bernie Sanders to push these people to vote for you. Bernie Sanders is dumb to think that would happen, and you are even dumber to think that would happen. You don't control me. You don't tell me what to do. I'm not part of your party. And fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What dumb fool is going to sit there and let you rig an election and it's proven that you cheated, but yet I'm going to support the cheater anyway? Man, if Bernie Sanders told me Well, I'm going to support Hillary Clinton. To each his own, bro. I'm not. What you going to do? You're going to support Trump? No, I'm not supporting neither one of you. So, no, like you said, Hillary Clinton, I'm going to vote third party. Jill Stein was the smartest one in the bunch. She was the most ethical one, and she was the most honest one, and she had a better platform than Bernie Sanders, and I voted for her. Did she have a chance to win? I don't vote whether you have a chance to win or not. I'm going to give you that chance because you have something for me. You're willing to fight for me, and I'll stay with you for the long haul to help build you up, then just ignore you. Bernie Sanders didn't urge people not to vote. But then again, Bernie Sanders is nobody's daddy. He's nobody's God. He's nobody Muju. He's nobody Sing Say. He's none of that. He has no rule over nobody. We make our own decisions. And she got the nerve to get mad because he can't control people. Mrs. Clinton said in an interview with Emily Tisch's assessment for her podcast, Your Primary Playlist, has had an impact. Mrs. Clinton also drew a sharp distinction between her efforts in 2008 to bring the party together after her bruising primary battle with Barack Obama and efforts of 2016, night and day. Well, I'm showing you night and day. I'm showing you night and day right now. I already told you more of Sanders supporters voted for Hillary Clinton than Hillary Clinton supporters voted for Barack Obama. So she can take that lie, turn it sideways, stick it up behind too, right there, because she's lying. Number two. Bernie Sanders went out and did 2 to 3, 4, maybe even 5 times more campaign stops for her to win versus she did Obama. But she figured, because she's the narcissist she is, people love me that much that I didn't have to go on many tours. People just listened to me and did what they say. No, Hillary Clinton. People that you support, that supported you, decided not to vote for all because they wasn't voting for a black man with a Muslim name for president. A lot of racism showed up, especially on the high feminist side. So you got to go somewhere with that BS, because that's strictly BS, and you can't go with that. So this lie that she's telling me, I don't know who's the real chief liar. Lotta. I don't know if it's Elizabeth Warren or Hillary Clinton. But she sit up here telling this lie to this reporter, a bald-faced lie. The real reason Barack Obama won that election is because he's a great campaigner. Well, let's get to that in a moment. She warned against party disunity when facing off against an incumbent President Trump in 2020. That cannot happen again, she said. I don't care who the nominee is. I don't care, as long as it's somebody who can win. And as long as it's somebody who understands politics is the art of addition, not subtraction. This boy, she said else, I'm telling you. You don't understand that politics is the art of addition, not subtraction. Because if you did understand that, you wouldn't screw this man when he had half of your party supporting him. If you did know that, you would not screw that man. You would have made him your vice president so you can keep those people in that particular party, and at the same time bring in independents who was probably hoping that somehow you get caught in the crime and you have to step down and maybe Bernie Sanders take over for president. That's what I would have hoped for. You don't understand addition and subtraction politics because you don't want to call former Obama supporters who voted for Trump out of their mind. You call independents who decided to vote for Trump deplorables. That ain't a sign of subtraction? You really think that's making them come your way? This lady is nuts, man. She need a psychiatrist. Mr. Clinton said already caused a stir last week when footage for an upcoming documentary revealed her saying of Mr. Sanders, nobody likes him. No, nobody likes you. Nobody wants to work with him. No, nobody wants to work with you. He got nothing done. The man got more done than you did. That man still got more done. Did you get Amazon to raise their rates up to $15 an hour? Bernie Sanders did. Did they invite you to Disney to talk to the CEO about raising the benefits and wages up for Disney workers? No, the Disney workers invited Bernie Sanders, and that's what happened. I tried to get Bernie Sanders to come talk to people at the airport. He came to talk to the workers, but I was trying to get him to call out the company. And he did through a tweet. That's Bernie Sanders did that. You ain't did none of that. Oh, I know what you would have did. You would have got some stocks and you would be sitting on the board like you did at Walmart. And Walmart paid their workers crap and work them like a dog. Anyway, when promoting the film, she initially declined to tell The Hollywood Reporter whether she would endorse or campaign for Mr. Sanders if he was the nominee. Hours later, she clarified in the Twitter, I would do whatever it take, whatever I can to support our nominee. And I bet you right under her breath, she said, we got to get rid of Sanders by any means necessary. And I hate that. I hate to say that because we already know this thing is out there called the list. And I'm telling people, man, y'all better make sure that man, I don't trust these people, man. I just don't trust them. And y'all shouldn't trust them either. You should demand this campaign to be for whatever security it can get. Because I don't trust some of these nut wings on the Trump side, and I don't trust some of these nut wings on the Democratic side. The Democrats hate Bernie more than they hate Trump. They're gonna try to act like they're friends with. I keep telling you, man. Those are the kind of white supremacists I don't like. You act like you my friend, but you really hate black people. You just ain't saying it in front of me. I gotta push you to that limit to the word, the N word come out your mouth. I've known, I've done that before. In a half-hour podcast interview with Ms. Tish Sussman, Mrs. Clinton also sounded off on the Iowa caucus, which will be held on Monday, in which Mr. Sanders leads in some polls as undemocratic. How is it undemocratic? Because he's leading. Because the voting is limited to a single winter evening, making them hard. You didn't say that when you won in 2016, barely won. So how are you going to say it's undemocratic? What's undemocratic is closed primaries. What's undemocratic is you rigging the election so you can get the win. The voting is limited to a single winter evening, making them hard to attend for people with night shifts and work like nurses and parents who need childcare. Well, guess what? In Bernie Sanders' platform, Hillary Clinton, he is lobbying to have election day. Election days, not just November, but any election day, a day off for workers. The Iowa Democratic Party has had several dozen satellite caucuses in a year at locations like hospitals, nursing homes, and efforts to expand accessibility. So that pushes back on what she's saying. She's trying to say, well, these people don't have time enough to go out and vote. Well, they added it to the places where people need to go out and vote. You can go vote at nursing homes. You can vote at hospitals. So what are you talking about, lady? It is a very undemocratic way of picking a nominee. You got the nerves to talk about undemocratic ways of picking a nominee. When you rigged the freaking election in 2016, you got the nerves to talk about undemocratic ways of picking a nominee. What do you call these freaking super delegates that didn't even vote for you, but you assume that they're declaring their vote in the news media, declaring that they're on your side when they didn't even cast a vote? Guys, I got the screen up. You can't see me rubbing my eyes. Oh, man. This lady is horrible, man. Horrible. She needs to just go be a grandmother. Your time is gone. Shut up. You shouldn't put your mouth on politics no more. You're ruining it. You're making it worse. If I was a Democratic, I would tell you to be quiet because you're making it worse for the party. Shh. You lost. You rigged it. You lost. You rigged it against Bernie Sanders and you won against him because you rigged. You couldn't rig the general because you can't, and you lost to Trump. And you lost to the easiest person to win, and it wasn't Russia, it's you and stuff like this. your bitter behind. Look, I can understand, man. To see Trump up there being the president, my friend of 20 years, took my crown. It's supposed to be me. It's supposed to be me. I had it. I was winning. Remember that time she got on TV when they asked about her race with Sanders and Sanders not giving up till after the till June. He had a reason to do that. He needed to change the platform. He was trying to help her out. She hated that. Plus it gave him time to wonder whether he was going to run independent or not. She had to prove to them that she's winning because Bernie was catching up. Bernie had 23 states, right? 22 to her 23, something like that. The only way she run that election is through the super delegates. And the delegates, the places where he won, that delegate decided to support her instead of doing right by the people. And she got the nerves to talk about something undemocratic. I vote you overwhelmingly in Washington State. Your job is to represent the person who I voted for. It's not to represent the person who I voted against. And she got the nerves to say it's undemocratic. Boy, this lady's, woo. Mrs. Clinton lost Iowa in 2008. Mr. Obama won the caucus list narrowly over Mr. Sanders in 2016. I think they wrote this wrong. It said Mrs. Clinton lost Iowa in 2008 to Mr. Obama. No, they said it right. But won the caucus narrowly over Mr. Sanders in 2016. Now, some people say Bernie won that, but there's some still that rigging that's going on. You caucusing, remember? I'll be happy to see the primaries start rolling around because that's a much easier way for people to participate and for the outcomers to be much clearer, she said. So she's trying to discount the caucuses right now. Some of her most notable remarks in the podcast interview were about the aftermath of the 26th primary. At one point, Ms. Tish Sussman asked Mrs. Clinton of Mr. Sanders, what do you think that he can do? Whether he's the nominee or not the nominee to help get to the point of unifying people against Trump. The same thing he did the last time, lady. The same thing he did last time. Well, he can do it for one. Mrs. Clinton said with a big laugh. That's not experience in 2016. You lying son of a. He went out and campaigned for you, and his number one thing that he told the people, including people like me who was at the event, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton because I believe I'm going to support, I'm going to run with her. I know she cheated me. It's wrong. Can you see? I'm not happy about it. But I still think supporting her is better than supporting Trump. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just letting you know, if I suggest you follow me because we can't have Trump. And I'm saying, look, I can't have none of these fools. You need to run your butt independent to beat both of them because both of them horrible. You admitted both of them was horrible. So for her to say that this man then try to motivate his people to support him when he gave up the floor vote, he did not run independent, which he could have and won in my book. He decided to campaign with her. He decided to go to the places that she didn't have the guts or basketball to go to because her and her husband devastated their communities. And she got the nerves to say that was not her experience in 2016. She said that she had very honest, very open conversations with Mr. Obama in 2008 and that she fully embraced his bid for the White House. And Bernie didn't embrace your bid for the White House to stop Trump? Really, lady? Really? You realize how many people hated Bernie for that supported Bernie, that he sided with you versus going all the way with them? Me, one of them. You realize 13 million people left the Democratic Party because they only joined to support Bernie Sanders? and you screwed them, and you think Bernie Sanders is supposed to keep those people in the party? I mean, he's a sheep herder, don't get me wrong, but he ain't that doggone good. So fast forward, I mean, you had, unfortunately, a very different outcome in 2016 primary where I won by 4 million votes. I won overwhelmingly in delegates. So how are you going to say this man did not campaign for you when you sit up here bragging that you won by 4 million votes? You want to know how you won by 4 million votes? Because more Bernie Sanders supporters listened to Bernie Sanders and supported you despite you cheating against him. He can't control everybody, and you can't make the independents support you. They're not part of your party. And even if they was, they joined the party for Bernie. They didn't join it for you. So you think you're going to keep them in the party? Remember, in the general, you can vote however you want. I could be a Democratic and vote for a Republican. I could be an independent and vote for a Democrat. There's no closed system. But you got the nerves to say, this lady is something else, man. The more she run her mouth, the more she shows her bitterness, the more she shows her insanity. This is insane. Because it is on record that that man has done more to get her a win than anybody in history. And she thought that she think that people just rode on her charisma, and the reason that Obama won was her. That's that narcissistic thing going on. That's that white supremacy. Obama wouldn't have won unless I got my people to support him. You didn't have that much people. It was either Obama or John McCain. Obama or John McCain. It's an easy, simple decision. Obama, John McCain. Well, first of all, black people like, hey, we got a black man. Not only is he black, he's saying he's going to do something for us. Let's vote him in. So as a black man, and this man saying he's going to do something for black people and people in general, I was proud to support him. I was proud. I campaigned for the guy in North Carolina and Virginia. 2008. But when I saw he never got around to helping the black community, but he helped the Hispanic, Latino community, and he was helping the LGBTQ community, and he put us to the side. That's when I said, I can't deal with this, brother. I'm independent. Yeah, I'll see who's running against him. I definitely ain't voting for, I'm sure not voting for Mitt Romney, but let's see who else running against him. Jill Stein popped up, and guess what? I supported Jill Stein. I'm not supporting because Jill Stein had a policy that would help the black community. All right, I'm almost done. She said, here she is bragging on how many votes she won, but she's going to say Bernie Sanders didn't help her get those 4 million votes. That here she's saying that she won the delegates overwhelmingly. That's because those delegates lost. You didn't earn those delegates. Those delegates went to you because they wanted you to become president. They neglected their duties in their state. They were supposed to support Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders won their state overwhelmingly. They're supposed to lend their delegates to him, but you end up getting, if not half of them, most of them. And you're talking about undemocratic. There was no question about who was going to be the nominee. Of course, you cheated him. But there was a question. You didn't win this so overwhelmingly easy. But unfortunately, his campaign and his principal supporters were just very difficult and really constantly not just attacking me, but my supporters. No, your supporters was attacking his supporters. That's where David Brock and the Correct the Record group come from. That was your organization. The bots that went online trashing Bernie Sanders supporters, trashing them, telling it's stupid to support him. He's not going to win, blah, blah, blah. Hillary Clinton, this, and that. You're going to act like everybody attacked you. Now, rightfully so. I mean, it's a primary. But who said that it was his supporters that were attacking you? What evidence do you have that his supporters are attacking you? As you said, it could have been the Russians. Get out of here with that mess. We get the convention, she continued. They're booing Michelle Obama, John Lewis. It was very distressing and such a contrast between what we did to unite in 2008. They didn't boo Michelle Obama. They did boo John Lewis. Why? Because John Lewis, great as he is for the civil rights movement, John Lewis fought for voter equality and voter integrity. But yet he goes and campaigned for the one who cheated and rigged the voting in Florida. So I don't care who you are, Jesse Jackson, who you are. I find out that you're supporting cheaters and riggers, you're going to get a boo from me. And I called John Lewis out at the Schomburg here in Harlem. Why are you campaigning and supporting Debbie Wasserman Schultz, a woman who was called out for her rigging and cheating in the Democratic primaries by WikiLeaks? Why are you supporting them? I thought you were for voter purity, voter integrity. Some people got mad at me, but some people were glad I called him on that. He didn't answer the question. See, you got me. I'm not gonna be pussyfooting around with these politicians. I'm not buying your story. I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying what the television tell me about you. I'm looking deep into your record and deep into your decision making, and that's where I'm gonna be on your side or not on your side. That is where I'm gonna vote for you or not vote for you. That is where you're gonna get your support from me or not from me. Based on not what you did in the past, but what you're doing now and what you're going to do in the future. I don't dwell in your past. Sure, John Lewis did some great things for civil rights back in the late 60s. But the crap that he did in 2016 was a spit in the crap on everything he did back then. Because he did all that for the right to vote. But when it comes to voting, you're going to support somebody who is rigging the voting process. And she act like we ain't got the right to do that. Hours after the podcast posted on Mr. Sanders' surrogate, Representative Rashida Tlaib openly booed Mrs. Clinton at a rally in Iowa, and rightfully so, because she needs to stay her butt out of politics. What she is doing is she's hurting the Democratic Party. She's not helping. She's not helping Joe Biden. She's not helping nobody. Her running her mouth on supporters who can support and push people in the down ballots, let alone the presidential election. We still need to get people elected in the down ballot. We need to get people elected in state legislature, local legislature, and she, with her big mouth, is killing that. Bad enough, she stole money, and I said she stole money from people who were running in the down ballot in 2016. She took all their money for campaign, left them with nothing, and you wonder how Trump won the presidency, the House, and the Senate. It's because the people who were running in the House and the Senate didn't have the funding to successfully campaign. She took all their money. How you going to win when you ain't got no money? And they wasn't doing it the Bernie Sanders way, reach out to the people and let the people fund your campaign. No, they were sitting there to listen to Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton has been a proficient fundraiser for decades. But the problem is she was getting her fundraisers from big money interests, and these big money interests want to get something in return for the fundraising. That's why you got Joe Biden, who's taking money from union busting companies because he need the money. But you got people like Amalgamated Union who dumb, foolish electoral leadership decide to overwhelmingly push the nomination to him. Talking about he's a friend of working people. What on record? Show me on record what Biden has done for working class. What legislations he passed, what events he's been to, who he has called out. Biden is a corporatist. He's getting money from the same corporations. He's doing speeches for the same corporations as that's crushing the working class. Guys, I know this is going long. I'm almost done. Oh no, I'll boo. And look, I would have cried because I would boo too. Why is she putting her mouth on the Nobody cares about what you got to say except those cultists that's still slobbering over you, Hillary Clinton. Everybody else don't care what you got to say no more. Your time is gone. Stop messing up this process. You are a known cheater and rigger. You undermined your election. You talk about Russia, you undermined the election before Russia got a chance. And the person that I really believe is Russia, name is Hillary Clinton. Because all that stuff is made up. We already know it was made up. It was made up by Robbie Mook, Neera Tanden, and Hillary Clinton staff at the Shake Shack over there in Brooklyn, not too far from TWU headquarters. I know where the place is at. Her office is around the corner from the TWU Local 100 offices. She said, I can't be quiet. No, we're going to boo. That's all right. The haters will shut up Monday when we win. In a Twitter thread on Saturday morning, Ms. Tlaib said she had allowed my disappointment with Secretary's latest comment about Senator Sanders and supporters get the best. Look, and she has a right. You going to crap on us. You don't think, look, politics can get a little hoodie. You going to talk trash about me and don't expect me to talk trash, expect me to celebrate you? You expect me not to boo you? If you was on stage in concert and I know you talked about me like a dog, you don't expect me to boo you? So I get where Representative Tlaib come from. I'll boo too. I'm booing her right now. She's running her mouth on trying to make it seem like she's still walking around with this victim mentality. I mean, I don't discount a victim's mentality. If you have been a victim, man, say it. But you are no victim in this. You rigged this thing to go your way, and it still didn't. And you got your way. But you want to blame Bernie Sanders for you not winning the general election. No, you rigged this thing in the primaries to have your way. You thought Bernie Sanders would be an easy defeat, and you find out you got a fight on your hand, so you had to continue to push the rigging. And you took money from people that you shouldn't have took for, and you flooded it in your campaign. And you realize, dang, I'm mad at Bernie because number one, because he challenged me. He really didn't want to challenge you. He tried to get Elizabeth Warren to do it, but she was too much of a punk to do it. So he went ahead and challenged you, and I'm glad he did. Somebody should always challenge you. You shouldn't have anything handed to you. You should always have a challenger for you to get you to stay in the right position. And you won this thing by hook and crook. And you're going to blame Bernie Sanders for you not beating Trump? Get out of here. Frank Secure, campaign manager, Mr. Sanders, followed up on Twitter. Rashida, you're all good. We love your passion and conviction. Don't change. Great job, Frank Secure. Now, this is one thing I like about Frank Secure. He's not like the other campaign manager for Bernie Sanders last year, in 2016, Jeff Weaver. To me, Jeff Weaver, I'm sorry, Jeff. You cowered down, man. You're a punk. You should have told the dude to run independent. And you should have told him, look, don't be apologizing for everything. Some things you can't apologize for. As for Mrs. Clinton, she was looking ahead to the 2020 race and drawing on her 2016 experience about the challenge ahead. I think people need to really think hard about who can beat Trump. And it's not the popular vote. I'm glad you realized that, Hillary Clinton. Maybe that's a lesson learned. Because you do understand, and since you're supposed to be very highly intellectual, you knew that you can't win the election by popularity. You do know that it's a game of chess. It's a game of checkers, that you got to go into the right areas and win those areas. Trump, who happened to be a good chess player, was told, he knew in order to beat you, I have to go to the places that you hurt the most. So he went to farm country. He went to Midwest. He went to areas, there is a lot of rebels. There's a lot of rebel flag waving people. Yeah, there are. You got a lot of racists there. You got a lot of good old boys down there, but you got a lot of people that's just suffering. So they went and suffering because of Democratic policies. Now, Republican policies isn't the cure-all. Anybody, Republican, Democrat, can come up with a good trade policy. And I can't say this policy, even though it's still horrible, is better than that trade policy that the Clintons put out. So he knew how to go where you need to go. So you can't this is another example that she can't blame Bernie Sanders for her not winning. She said, I think people need to really think hard about who can beat Trump. Well, you can't. Joe Biden can't. Because Joe Biden can't get independents and he can't get Republicans. He can get the black vote, mainly 45 and up. Anything under that, Bernie is taking some of that. He's not getting the Latino vote. Bernie is taking that. So Joe Biden is his perception. The perception of Joe Biden leading in the polls is really a bad perception. You're going to find that out Monday. But you sit here, you say it's not the popular vote. I learned to my own grave disappointment. Well, contrary to what Mrs. Clinton said, Bernie Sanders told her this. Bernie Sanders told her and reminded her that you need to go to those places that you hurt the most with that bill. And you need to make it right with them. You make it right with them, you can win the Electoral College. She don't want to listen to Bernie because she hates Bernie. She hate him for the simple fact that he stopped her from being crowned the Democratic nominee. Meaning she wanted to automatically get this thing without a challenger. And she hates him that not only did he challenge her, he challenged her. Those are going to be tough states to win. So I just want to be really focused on winning. That's all I care about. Now,
I would fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Right.
Now, guys, it's a lot to unpack here. Number one. Now, guys, she realized that the only way to win the election is not the popular vote. It's a game of chess. There's certain states you got to conquer. Donald Trump knew that. His advisors told him that. So what Trump would do, he was getting his big old plane and land right there in the middle of a freaking field in the Midwest, go to a hangar and do a speech and it'd be packed out. Quite sure Bernie Sanders told her, look, I beat you in those states. I beat you in Kentucky. I beat you in all these, Washington. I beat you in all these states that you need to win in. But you got to understand, Hillary, the reason I beat you in those states is because I offered them something that's better than what your husband and you gave them that crushed their economy. I'm offering something to fix that. So since I beat you in those areas, she probably didn't want to hear that. She probably got mad. Saying I beat you. The superiority complex she has, that would eat her up and make her mad. So I'm quite sure Bernie Sanders didn't say that. He said, look, now, Secretary Clinton, I won these states. A lot of Midwest states. They like my platform. My suggestion, two things. Make my platform your platform. Then they'll like you a little bit better. Number two, make me your VP. And they'll like you even more better. She didn't want to run on this platform. She didn't want him for VP. And of course, they're not going to support you. You just killed our economy, lady, you and your husband. Our factories are shut down and they moved overseas. We're struggling here. Our only jobs we have is restaurants, Walmart, and everything. And we take that. We got to eat. But I spent 15 years on this job and I had 5 more years to go to retire, and you caused that company to close up and move to another country, and my 15 years going down the drain. And you want me to vote for you? You want me to vote for you? You think you putting Trump in my face is enough to scare me to vote for you when you caused me to throw 15 years down the drain with that NAFTA and CAFTA policy that you and Bill pushed? Now, baby, I'm not just going to vote for you. You better make some amends. You better give me a new contract. You better come up with some kind of promises. Bernie Sanders said, look, I'm trying to fix all that, baby. You ain't got to do this. Let's go down there together. You should announce that I'm your VP. That'll give you a better shot. And you should announce this policy platform that I got that's going to fix that situation. And you're going to get the credit for it. I'm going to help you. Nah, she didn't want to do that. So Hillary Clinton and all this BS about Bernie didn't do nothing for her and it's because of her supporters she lost. She don't know the reason why she lost. She's still up in the air. She's still saying what happened. Remember the book she wrote, What Happened? I'm telling you what happened. Number one, you suck. You don't know how to campaign. You don't have the right advisors. Her record is a fabrication of your mind. If you really look at her record, there was nobody to challenge her in Westchester County. That was an easy win for her for senator. Her main promises came as First Lady. When she was in the Senate, she gonna talk about Bernie Sanders didn't get nothing done. Bernie Sanders is known as the amendment king. He got more amendments, more policies pushed and passed through amendments than she ever done. But she gonna talk about him. Even without a legislation, Bernie Sanders goes out and confront companies one-on-one and make them have changes. What have she done? She didn't challenge her good friend Jeff Bezos to raise the rate to $15 an hour. Bernie Sanders had to call him out. Bernie Sanders had to call out Disney. Bernie Sanders had to call out her friends, the Walmart people, the Waltons, whom she sat on the board for as a Republican for I don't know how many years. So no, Hillary Clinton, you're going around here lying. You need to shut your lying face up, lady, ma'am, whatever you want to call. It's hard for me to respect you and call you lady and ma'am when you consistently crap on people and lie on people. I can't stand people to lie on me. So I can imagine. You're going to sit there and say that man did not campaign for you and that I campaigned for Obama and I brought people together. Girl, stop, stick your chest in. Your people voted against Obama. Your people didn't vote for Obama. You didn't bring nobody Obama way. What did you do to get people to vote for Obama? The choice was simple, Obama or King. I got a cat would have picked Obama over King. He out there in the yard right now, sitting up under a tree, black cat. I ain't on him, but I talk to him every day. And no, the black cat didn't vote for Obama because he was black. No, Obama had some policies that he didn't push hard enough, trying to appease to the Republicans. So you didn't do that, so stick your chest in. And you barely campaigned for the guy, so stick your chest in. That's that narcissist mentality. And here Bernie Sanders go at least 5 times more places than you did for Obama. Bernie goes to the area where you needed to win. You wouldn't even go with him. Bernie give you a platform that they are interested, that they voted overwhelmingly for that platform against you. So the simple, easy strategy in campaigning is easy that I even can come up with it. The most simple and easy way for you to win this election against Trump was number one, run on Bernie Sanders' platform, which he tried his best with the DNC Unity Commission to give as a platform to the DNC. That's the reason why he didn't give up goods right away, because he felt he needed to at least change the platform since I'm not going to be president. You should have changed the platform without any struggle. You should have took his platform and ran with it, and you should have made him VP. Why? Because you suck, and he know how to win. Together, where you was weak, he could have made you strong, and where he was weak, you could have made him strong. But no, you're too much a narcissist, a bitter woman. You ain't got nothing to do with you being a woman, but you're just a bitter person. You wanted to have this thing done your way, and when it didn't go your way, your ultimate reaction is to crap on everybody who you feel stopped you from getting your way, and you think it's Bernie Sanders. And it's not. That man laid down everything in your face for you to win against Trump, and you told him to kiss your little itty bitty wrinkly white behind. And unfortunately, he kissed it. Continue to call him. Oh, Hillary Clinton's a good friend of mine. Joe Biden's a good friend of mine. Okay, she said we can't have this election. And then on top of that, she said, the person have to know how to win. It's not a game of popularity. It's a game of winning the states. Well, you know for a fact, if you take your little narcissistic behind and look at the tail of the tape, Bernie Sanders beat you in those states that Trump beat you in, and Trump won. So not only can Bernie Sanders win the Midwest, he also can win the popularity contest too. But no, what you want to do is join the bandwagon of Stop Bernie, then we stop Trump. That's your worst nightmare, because the moment you stop Bernie and successfully stop Bernie, you ain't beating Trump. Because all those people that support Bernie, they're not a part of your party. And there's nothing he or you can do to get them to support these corporate wingnuts. They're going to do the same thing they did in 2016. Turn their butt toward your face, smack it, and tell you to kiss their behind. Stop blaming Bernie when it's your fault that you lost. I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Holler late. I know this went kind of long, but I'll holler at you later. I want to thank everybody who gave into the PayPal account. I really appreciate it. I'm going to see if I can come up with the names, so just give me a moment. People who recently gave. I really appreciate you for that. I want to thank Masood Mian for the $15 donation. I appreciate you. Angeline Roberson for your $20 gift. I appreciate you for that. And Raymond Foley for your $5 gift. To me, PayPal is the most easiest way to support the channel. And I really want to big you up. What I would like for you to do, anybody who give in the future through PayPal, email me. I'll get alert in PayPal, but what I want you to do is email me at robertbbrown0000, that's 40, at gmail.com, because I want to put your picture up and your name up and show my appreciation towards you. I take what I do very serious. I don't take it for a joke. I love what I do. I do want to do it more. I would like to do it full time, but it's not easy to do. You have to continue to have a job because YouTube don't pay anything. They steal more on your money than that you actually keep. That's why I tell people don't do super chat. Don't just go directly into the account. It'll be better than that. And this allows me to buy more computer. It helps me continue to keep the lights on in the place. This money is going toward getting me away from this laptop and get me back to my desktop. Once I get my desktop back, then the money going forward there will go toward my laptop. The primaries is coming up in a month or two for New York State, and I want to be able to at least try. I don't have credentials, but try to go to politicians or try to go to people on the streets and hear the heartbeat of the people. And I want to bring it on this channel. I do want to bring regular people on this channel and talk about why are they supporting or doing this, but I appreciate it. And I'm a praying man. I know you probably don't believe that way, but I believe God bless those who bless you. And I believe God will always give you more in return than what you give. It's just like sowing a seed in the ground. You expect a harvest, but you don't expect that seed to come out. You expect the image of that seed to start sprouting out of that seed. So I believe the same thing happened to you. I given to other shows like this, Jamal Thomas, I've given to these people before because I believe that their grace come on me. So, I don't take that lightly. I really, really appreciate you. Again, email me, send me your pictures so I can properly put you up here. I can put you up on the website. I really appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. Financial support is very important. I do understand sometimes people don't have it. I've been there before. I've been in positions where I really didn't have it, but I gave it anyway because I believe in that principle. And then all of a sudden, things turn around for me. Because I believe that person has a grace that I should give into. So I want to thank you for taking the time out to do that for me. And I don't take it lightly. So I'm believing and praying that 100-fold of what you gave into me will come back to you. I just hope you agree and I hope you look for it. And, appreciate you. I'm Rob Brown with the Rob Report. I'll let you later. Peace.